Let's do this. Okay, there are 10 things I wish I knew when I was starting a YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm going to share my journey where I went from 0 to 100,000 subscribers and how this can help you, whether you are in a job search, whether you are in your career, whether you want to start a YouTube channel or a podcast. Coming right up. Hey there, welcome to Supercharge. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Sonal, Bahl, former HR director and career strategist. I am super active here on YouTube. I share my favorite tips and strategies. I'm obsessed with all things career, and I feel like we all deserve to live a life and have a career that we love and we're proud of. This is the reason I'm super active here on YouTube. I am active on LinkedIn. I'm live every single Friday. I have a podcast called How I Got Hired. If any of this is interesting, check it all out. I'm going to put all of this in the description. Now, why am I talking about this 0 to 100,000? I've seen all these like unboxing videos where people get the silver play button, and I gotta admit, it looks really cheesy. Things look very cheesy from the outside till they happen to you. Then it's not cheesy at all. Then it's emotional. So before I proceed with the lessons, let's spend a little clip. I'm going to share a little clip of my attempt at my very first unboxing video. Let's go. Was fun to watch. So, anyone who has some sort of milestone will have a very unique experience on how they got there. And mine is no different. I started out in September 2018. And why did I start out making a YouTube channel? It was never a plan. It was like, I use YouTube a lot. I've learned so much from watching videos, getting gardening tips, getting cooking tips, etc. This is a great way for me to share whatever it is I've learned over the years when it comes to human resources, job search, career, etc. So I started sort of on a very shaky ground. I didn't know what I was doing. And I put out a first video in September 2018. It did pretty okay, lots of applause from friends and relatives. They were pretty much the only ones who were watching. Then this video was me behind the scenes talking, right? So it's a voiceover. I was very proud of it. And the second video I did was also sort of similar. I'm behind the camera, I'm talking, and I'm giving my favorite tips. The first one was resumes, the second one was interviews. So you can see a pattern there. I'm behind the camera, so nothing much is going on. I had a fear of being in front of the camera and I was a bit shy. So I thought this was safe. Now, I'm going to come back to that. So what did I do afterwards? I came out with my first video in front of the camera in January 2019. And up until June 2019, I would drop videos every now and then. There was no plan. And, most of them did okay, but nothing to write home about. And again, it was mostly friends and family who were watching. What did I do then? I got immediately discouraged. And I made up my mind that YouTube is not the place I should be hanging out because I don't necessarily see any traction. Why don't I take some of my videos on YouTube and chop them up and upload them as native content on LinkedIn? This is what I did. That's where I started getting noticed, and I basically just forgot all about YouTube until one ancient video from March 2019. I'm recording this in 2022, so this was over 3 years ago. Very poorly produced video, terrible audio quality. I've always loved and I've always believed in the content of everything I've put out. but it wasn't getting seen, right? So I've always thought, yeah, okay, I'm not going to waste my time. I knew the content was good, but for some reason, only this video started going crazy, nuts, insane. And you see the graph, you see the you see the growth after that. It's been insane. And then I was like, oh, I think I should start taking it a bit more seriously. And then I did. I took it a bit more seriously, and here we are today. So, if, technically speaking, I think the 100,000 has been within this 12-month period when I know, when that particular video started getting taken off, started taking off. Now, let's get into the lessons. The first lesson that I have learned is show yourself, show your face, show up. I noticed a difference in engagement. I noticed a difference in views when I was behind the camera versus when I was in front. People engage with people, and they say the same for Instagram, etc. People usually respond when you're in front of the camera. Instagram, I still don't. I don't like it as much. And I still like to be behind the camera as much as possible. Now, how is this relevant to you? Showing up matters. If you have, not if, you hopefully have a LinkedIn profile, definitely have a fantastic profile shot, like your headshot. And do not hide, do not think not having a profile picture is okay. You've got to show up. And what that means is, if you've written an article somewhere, put your picture at the bottom saying this is written by you. If you have a resume and you live in a country where it is common practice to have a resume with a picture, do that. Many countries don't encourage it, so please don't do it. I have a video where I talk about this. I'm going to link it right here. But if you are in a country where it's common practice, take advantage of that. Show up, show your face, people engage with people, and I think it matters a lot. My second lesson is, when you are putting something out, right? Whether it's a job application, whether it's a video, whether it's a post on LinkedIn, I think you should care. Yeah, of course, you put some heart and soul into it, right? Care, but don't care too much. I don't think I can say this more simply. I cared much more than I should have, which is why I got disappointed every single time. People who continue and don't stop and don't care about analytics as much, especially the vanity analytics, views, subscribers. Sure, it comes with time. But I got so discouraged, right? That is the reason I gave up on YouTube. So put it out, learn what's working, change what's not working, and that's it. And you move on to the next one, and then you move on to the next one. So personally attaching yourself to the outcome, you're caring too much. And that is a mistake that I did. And I wish someone had told me this earlier. The third lesson is, don't stop. If you believe you're making a difference, you're getting good feedback, even if it's one person, but it's making a difference, don't stop. It's a matter of time that you're going to get noticed. I had a fantastic guest on my podcast called John Espiran, and we talked about it. And he said, on average, it's 0 to 18 months to see, a blog or a channel or any sort of work taking off. You're going to say, yeah, I don't have 18 months. Well, you know what? Time flies. And it's so much better than giving up. Can you imagine if I had not given up in June or July of 2018? Channel would have grown so much more exponentially, right? So I wish I hadn't stopped. So if you're doing your thing, you're not getting any encouragement, and it's like, oh, what's the point? Don't stop. Success might be closer than you think. The next lesson, oh my God, have a beginner mindset. You don't know everything about this. You don't know whether it's a job search or a YouTube channel or a podcast. Learn. And my problem was, I had a little bit of fear. And one of the things that was feeding the fear was arrogance. Sonal, you have an MBA. You worked at such fantastic companies. If it's not working out on YouTube, YouTube is silly. It's a waste of your time. People just go there to watch cat videos or cooking videos. Go to LinkedIn. And basically, my brain was telling me it's YouTube's fault. It's not your fault. If I had a beginner mindset, I would have put all of those thoughts to the side, and I would have focused on spending more time learning how this platform works even more than I did. I did quite a bit of it, but I don't think it was enough, because my mindset was not the beginner mindset. It was more like, I know this is a waste of my time. Why bother? And I talk a lot about this in a particular video where I talked about curiosity versus confirmation. And it's a networking tip. I'm going to link it up here. It's sort of similar, right? Curiosity is, I wonder what's going on. Let me see what I can do. Let me continue. Confirmation is, I know it's not working. What a waste of time. Let's leave it. That's not going to help. So it's all about being a student, being a beginner. Learn to suck at something new. Because anyone who's good at what they do today, they started out just like you did. One of the things that I love about my YouTube analytics is that YouTube tells me how my video is performing compared to my previous videos. It doesn't really tell me, and I don't really care about how my video is performing compared to the competition. I'm competing with myself from last video, last month, last year, last decade. How am I, Sonal of 2022, doing better than Sonal of 2021? And I think this is a brilliant way to think about your career. I did not think like this. Oh my goodness. I was looking at how others' videos were doing and I thought, this is not really working. What a waste of my time. I'm going to go to LinkedIn. I'm going to cry like a baby. I'm going to go cry to LinkedIn. This was a mistake. This was a huge mistake. And there is a reason they say comparison is the thief of joy. So when you're looking at job applications, when you're looking at interviews, always compare to how you did the previous time. How is it better? If you're not getting better, this is my next lesson. Get help. Now, what that help looks like, it could be, for example, watching this channel right here on YouTube. This is great. Sometimes it can mean getting, paid help. It might mean I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I need to send that signal to my brain that I'm serious about this, right? And there's an expression, when we pay attention. So in most of 2021 and before, what I was doing with YouTube was I was just like throwing videos out. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't have any strategy. I didn't have any end game. And I hired a coach, a specialist on videos and YouTube. And with her help, the channel's grown even faster. So if I had done that sooner, it would have helped me so much more. So get the help from the right mentors who can help you and make that difference and make that impact with your long-term goal. Whether it's a career coach, interview coach, resume coach, or buying a course or whatever. It's not just about like spending money. Maybe your budget is tight, but it's about get the help you need, whatever that help looks like. Don't wait. Don't let your ego tell you that you're going to figure it all out by yourself, because if you were to figure it out, you would have done so by now, right? So there's what is that expression? Again, I'm thinking a lot of expressions today. The definition of insanity, doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different outcome. Again, I wish I'd done this sooner, but better late than never when it comes to getting help. My next point is about celebrating these milestones and then moving on. I remember very well when I reached 200 subscribers, I put a post on Facebook and on LinkedIn, and I was like, the ego is like, just 200? That's nothing. Whereas it's about celebrating those little things every single day. Anything you've done, you look how far you've come, celebrate that. We don't know how long we have, right? And I'll be happy when, yeah? So when I got this silver play button, my immediate reaction was like, this is great, but it took you 3.5 years. Should have been 1 million by now. That is coming from a place of scarcity. That is coming from a place of you are not enough. And that is coming from a place of just never being happy with how things are. So yes, celebrate those milestones. Whether it's, hey, it's been so long, I finally got that interview today. Don't postpone happiness to a later date, because we don't know how long we have. So I'm all about celebrating the milestones, but I see sometimes some people are like celebrating and the celebration goes on for days and months. No, that there is a fine line between celebrating and resting on your laurels. Enjoy it and then move on to the next one. You're not postponing your happiness, you're still happy, but it's not like you're staying there. You need to feed that momentum that you have going when things start working out. My next tip is a little bit sensitive. Find a way to surround yourself with people who uplift you and with people who are happy for you when things go well. When I got the silver play button, it was so nice. I put it on social media. I had a couple of people reach out, some people who are close to me. So, Sonal, this is nice, but what does this mean? How has life changed for you? Right? So, they don't mean any harm, but it's more about like, yeah, what? So what? It's not that big a deal, right? So that's fine. They're not necessarily in the inner circle. It's like, you get a job or you get a promotion. How much increase in salary did you get? 10%. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. These are people who find ways, sometimes completely, effortlessly or innocently. It's not saying they're bad people, but they find a way to diminish joy. And that joy is everything. When you enjoy what you do, when you enjoy yourself in a job or in an interview, or you're making a resume, you're like, oh my God, I didn't realize I'm quite a rock star. I've done such cool stuff. You find joy. It's very hard to touch you, but it can also be threatening for some people. So you want your inner circle, you want to be very picky of who is in there. And these are people that are uplifting each other all the time, not tearing each other down and not diminishing their success. This next one is funny. It's really funny. I have a salary negotiation video and it has thousands of comments. And I've noticed it has three types of comments. And I think they're a great analogy to life. The first type of comment on the salary negotiation video is, this is the worst audio I've ever heard in my entire life. In spite of there being a pinned comment that says, I'm so sorry, I was new at editing, I didn't know anything. Horrible audio, or something is wrong with you, Sonal, your communication style, or you're a little bit like, are you nervous? You don't come across as very believable, or they make fun of my appearance, right? So that's the first type of comment. The second type of comment is, what is this nonsense that you're proposing here? This will never work in my country, in my city, in my industry. Waste of time. Like, I know better, right? So the third type of comment is, hey, I wasn't quite sure. I used these tips and I managed to get an increase of 10% or 300%. It's my dream company. I can't believe it happened. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much. I classify them in two categories, the complainers and the obtainers. You always want to be in the obtainer category. You can complain about how something is wrong, or you can complain how it's never going to work, which basically means you're arguing for your limitations. You're not arguing for your strengths. Or you can be the third and be like, hey, there is some truth in it. Let me come from curiosity. Let me find a way to make it work. There's a lot of unhappy people on the interweb. You can't let them get to you. Strangers' comments, they got to me. They still get to me sometimes, but I can feed it, I can ignore it. So anyone who has a horrible thing to say, you're watching this video, you don't like it, put in a comment that you don't like it. You're helping me with my algorithm. You're not helping yourself. You're attracting more negativity. So you want to be careful that in these three categories, you're always in that third category. You're an obtainer. You are not a complainer, my friend. The last lesson is be true to you. This is easier said than done. Be you and be true to you. Everyone has their own style. Some people will sing, dance, make a huge mockery of things, and they have fun and they get, millions and millions of views. I like a little fun. I like to stand. I don't want to walk around the house or the street, or, it's just not my style, right? Now, being true to you also means when it comes to your integrity and ethics, where do you draw the line? I have received a lot of interest from brands who want to collaborate. I haven't engaged with anyone so far. Why is that? I think that it's really important that when you put yourself out there, whether you're working with a company or you're self-employed, that there is some synergy and there is some alignment between what that company is doing, what that brand is doing, and you and your values. I would love to grow, but I'm not in a hurry and I'm not going to rush it. Because if there is no synergy, and if I suddenly start talking about how you must get this software, use my promo code, and you'll get 20% off, if I do this in every single video, I will lose credibility. I will lose respect. I will lose respect for myself. So, this is a hard one because we also have bills to pay, right? I get it, of course. But at the same time, I always feel like when the right opportunity is there, it's going to find you. Okay, what is the number one thing that you're taking away from this video? If you have watched till the very end, I want you to write 3 words in the comments. Don't give up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. I shall see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself, keep dreaming, keep believing, keep supercharging. You got this.